A photo of a man standing in front of his home, yet it seems he's not alone in the house. A black and white image of a man in a jacket appears in the window behind him. Oh. Is that a person? From where I'm standing, it could be like a curtain. Oh, I kind of see. Yeah, it's hard to see from where I'm standing, and also because I'm clinically blind. As all the comments like to point out. Oh yeah, I see it now. I see it. That's a ghost. That's a ghost. That's a confirmed sighting of a ghost. This guy went back into his house and then he dead. When I was little, I saw this strange figure standing in the corner. I told my mum about it, and as it turns out, every single one of my siblings had claimed to see a figure that looked the same when they were around the same age. Interesting. Not that scary. It just means your house is haunted. I think we've all seen a ghost at one time or another. I've seen a ghost. I swear to God, it was a ghost. No one believes me. I think my family have started to believe me in time, but most other people don't believe me. Hey guys, welcome back to Top 10 Central Dark, your place for all things horror. I'm your only host, Lisa McPhee, the superior host, the best one. When Keegan's not here, we celebrate. Right? Some of us do. Others in the comment section say, what the f***? Stick around for bloopers. Let's go. One night, I let my then 3-year-old sleep with me because my husband was gone. It was dead quiet in the house, and she whispers, "I've got you." This is dumb. "I've got you where I want you, and now I'm gonna eat you." Why'd she saying it like that? No, it would have been better if she just said, "I've got you where I want you, and now I'm going to eat you." That would have been a little more sinister, but the fact that she said, "I've got you where I want you, and now I'm gonna eat you." If a child said that to me, I'd be like, no you're not. You ain't doing shit. That child, very, very imaginative. Watch out, keep an eye. Could become something very sinister. Did you know in 1975 a 17-year-old boy was killed while riding his moped? He was killed exactly a year after his 17-year-old brother was killed while riding the same moped in the same intersection by the same taxi with the same driver carrying the same passenger. I just hate when people lie to me. I know you're lying to me. That's not a fact. Give me the firm evidence. Give me newspaper clippings. Give me reports for both cases. First of all, if you're hit by a taxi on a moped, I'm assuming the moped's not in one piece. It's gonna have some issues, and then just get another moped. And also, if I knew someone had been in a moped accident, I'm not gonna be like, you know what? I'm gonna get a moped. They seem safe. Some people. Get it together up here. On August 29th, 1968, all the televisions in America shut down. There was a murmuring on the TV that some believe was the devil's voice. The televisions were off for about 25 seconds. No one knows what the issue was, and no one knows what the sound was from the TVs. You know what it is? It was one person. They wised up and they were like, I'm gonna tell the world, we're in a simulation. I don't think it was the devil's work. I don't think the devil really cares, to be honest. The devil's not real. Just kidding, I'm the devil, and I have a legion of followers. The Legion of Lucy. When my little sister was about 4, she stepped barefoot on a broken glass, nicked a major artery, and nearly bled out. After an extended stay in the hospital, she told us that she wasn't scared in the hospital because a little girl held her hand and told me that she was protecting me. She said we were sisters. She didn't know this at the time, but one of our sisters had died just after birth many years before. That me up. I do believe, actually, if I believe this, my simulation theory is off. But I do believe in this stuff. Children, like, they know things. They see ghosts. They talk to people. It's like that guy, that little boy that was like died for a second, then he was like, I saw Jesus, but actually then it turned out to be fake. He didn't see Jesus. The parents lied and they made a book. And I read that book. And I believed it, and then it came out that they lied about it for money. There is 5 years between my older brother and I. One night, shortly after I was brought home, my brother was asleep in his room. He heard knocking and scraping around in his closet. He woke, sat up in bed, and watched a man he describes as the devil exit the closet. He walked to the foot of his bed, smiled, and said, I'll see you soon, kid, and then returned to the closet. My brother, rightfully terrified, went running into my parents' room and immediately told them what had happened. For the next few nights, they let him sleep with him. They let him sleep with them. Just a few nights later, the ceiling in his room collapsed, crushing his bed. It's like Donnie Darko. You know? Warnings. Before you know it, an engine from a plane is going to be in your... These are spoilers for Donnie Darko. Apologies. I won't spoil anything. People hate it when I do that. Anyway, maybe it was a guardian angel, not so much the devil. Because why would he come and say, "I'll see you soon, kid"? Because then you would know. You'd be like, "Oh, something's happening. I gotta skedaddle." Friends of mine moved into a new house with their 4-year-old son. He kept talking about a boy being in his room, which they brushed off. Eventually, they humored him and suggested he talk to the boy. The next day, they asked how it went. Their son said, "I asked him if he wanted to be friends. He smiled and nodded, but I could see he was lying." Huh? Again, like, I've no idea what's happening. I don't like when there's a lot of text because I've already forgotten the beginning of the text. There's a boy and there's a ghost. He said he wants to be friends, and the ghost smiled and nodded, but he was lying. Okay, this story isn't very scary, but I think what we can assume is the boy died. When I was 4, I would sleep with the door to my bedroom open and my dad would shut it quietly when he got up in the morning for work. I woke up one night to my door being slammed shut. I walked to the door to open it to see what was wrong with my door. The man walking down the hall wasn't my father, and when he got to my parents shut the door, he turned around with an evil grin, put his finger to his mouth and said, "Shh," before walking through the closed door. I slammed my door and started screaming. My parents woke up and I haven't seen the man since, but have had pretty vivid dreams of him strangling. Have had pretty vivid dreams of him strangling me in my sleep. Well, I hate to break it to you. Your mum was sleeping around. This was an affair and you caught him in the act. And he was hella proud. Or it's a ghost. I mean, either or. Are your parents still alive? Then it's fine. It's not a ghost. It was probably your mum sleeping around with someone else. And you caught him. That's why they always kept your door shut, to hide the secrets. Your dad was sleeping in another room. They were separated. Late one night, I heard my daughter's voice coming from her room. I got up and just before I opened her bedroom door, I heard her say, "You don't have to leave. Let's show Daddy." I opened the door and she was alone. The window was wide open. Huh? Late one night, I heard my daughter's voice coming from her room. I got up and just before I opened her bedroom door, I heard her say, "You don't have to leave, let's show Daddy." Opened the door and she was alone, the window was wide open. So she was talking to a ghost or a serial killer breaking into the home, or just a thief or anyone, a creepy old man. Props a ghost. Children see everything. They see absolutely everything and they'll talk to anyone. They don't know what's good and what's bad. That's why they all get possessed. A few years ago, I was putting my friend's daughter to bed for the night. She was about 3 at the time and she was fighting going to sleep. She asked me why she had to go to bed and I said, "Because it's late and it's time for little girls to get a good night's rest." She then pointed at nothing across the room and said, "What about that little girl?" Again, case in point, only kids can see ghosts, which is why I saw my ghost boy when I was 3 and 4. It's always 3. It's the cursed number. I saw my ghost boy at 3 or 4. And then I never saw him again because I grew up. And then something happens. Something happens to the mind. You shut out the spirit world. Well guys, thanks for tuning into this video. I've been your host, Lisa McPhee. Stick around for bloopers. They're coming right now, if there are any. This picture of Gina K. Walters was taken before she was killed by serial killer Robert Ben Rhodes. Before he took the picture, Rhodes cut off her hair and made her wear a black dress and heels. 1989. That's terrifying. But now this is scary because that's like real. This is real. This is a real picture before someone died. And that's very sad. And like, oh, I don't even know what to say to that. That just makes me upset. Like, it just makes me sad. You ready to hear my story, Chris? I think you've heard it before, but I'll tell you it again and let's pretend you've never heard it. Yeah, he's heard it, but you haven't. At one time, yeah, I was like 3 or 4 years old. I used to share a bedroom with my sister. We had single beds that like faced each other. And then I woke up in the night, but it wasn't like sleep paralysis and I wasn't dreaming. I was wide awake, I was moving around. I was like, "I'm 4, look at me." And then I looked at the bed and there was just a boy sat at the end of my sister's bed. My sister wasn't even in the bed because she used to sleep in the guest room because she was like, "I'm edgy now, I'm older." So she would go sleep in the guest bedroom. And then yeah, there was just a little boy sat on the end of her bed and I was like, "What the f?" So then I combat rolled off the side of my bed. I sprinted to my parents' room. Then I banged on the door, but it was during the days where they kept it locked. But anyway, Maybe teach her how to use you and your and stuff like that. I want you. I got you where I want you, now I'm gonna eat you. I can't take that seriously, that's dumb. Anyway, if that was me and the devil came to my room, I'd be like, okay, can't wait, see you soon, count down the days, tell me when, I'll be here, lay in my bed, claps, claps, claps. Clapping and collapsing. Me and the devil. Dream come true. Just kidding. Guys, you don't have to worry about me. I think some people genuinely think I'm like a Satanist. I'm not. I'm actually real cool. That was the most uncool thing I've ever said. I'm not. I'm only scary here, nowhere else. I'm reading ghost stories. No, everyone's lying to me.